I am going to show you or demonstrate how to measure your head for a wig. I've already done that, but I'm going to show you how to do it. So what we're going to do, there's 6 measurements. The circumference, which is all the way around, front to nape, so front all the way back around to the nape, ear to ear across the forehead, and ear to ear across the top, and then temple to temple around the back. And then we're going to measure the nape. The nape, there's not a lot of wiggle room with the nape, about an inch difference. And there's really not a lot of wiggle room anyway, but for your most comfort, you're going to want to try and find the wig that fits your head. That being said, manufacturers' wigs all run different sizes. So you may find a brand that works for you in a certain size, may feel different in a different brand's same size, or an average may feel petite, a petite may feel average. There's all sorts of different things. But what we're going to do is just figure out how to measure your head using the 6 points of measurement. And I will include a picture, hopefully, of how to do that. A picture where I've got all this information. So this is your, nope, excuse me. We want to do circumference. So we're going to do circumference. So find where your hairline starts in the front. And we are going to go all the way around. And what that should be on me is 21 to 21 and a quarter. So it is about there, excuse me, 21 and an eighth. So about 21 and a quarter. Okay, so you write that down. And then you're going to take and get an average of all your sizes. Do this a few times. Measure yourself a few times. Get an average, because it may be different each time you measure. You may find that happens. So that was the circumference. Now we're going to do front to nape. So that's over the top. Front to nape. So that's all the way back down here to where you are most comfortable with where your hairline ends at the back, because you want to cover that up. That's what you're looking at covering up. So back here, spin a little bit. So as far back, I have quite a weird nape that kind of goes different directions, but what we're going to try and find is about 13 and a quarter. 13 to 13 and a quarter, that's what I wrote down. I'm measuring and measuring again, just to make sure. Okay, that was front to nape, or over the top, as I like to call it. 13 and a quarter was my size. Now we're going to go ear to ear across the forehead. So ear to ear, ear to ear across the forehead. It doesn't have to be perfect, but you do want to try and make it as close to that as you can make it. My measurement is 11 and a quarter. I measured that and it came out again 11 and a quarter, so we're looking good. My measurements are accurate. I run petite to petite average to average, depending on the maker. Again, the brand is going to vary as far as size goes. You may find that one brand fits you better, just like a pair of jeans. Some company may fit you better than another pair of jeans, and that's the same with wigs. They're going to be different. So that was ear to ear across the top. Now we're going to go temple to temple around the back. So we're going to go around see if I can do this, around the back, temple to temple, snug it up around the back. And that is measuring at 12, which is an inch different than I measured. So I must have measured differently. Temple to temple, I didn't quite go as forward that time. So that way, that way. Okay, so 12 and a quarter. 12 and a quarter. I'm going to change that because I have a different measurement. 12 and a quarter than I got previously. And then the nape is that small bit in the very back of your head. You're not going to get very much difference with wigs as far as this goes. They go from about 4 to about 6 inches across. And I think I believe I'm about a 4, 4 to 4.5 nape. So again, we got circumference goes all the way around, front to nape is this way, ear to ear, front of the forehead, ear to ear across the top, which these two I believe measure the same, or they're about the same. They're very close. Mine are anyway. I assume that I don't know, they may be different. They may be different. And then temple to temple around the back. So it went from back here all the way around back here, and then nape of the neck, which is back here. Where you're most comfortable with your hair being covered up is where you are going to want that coverage. This will help achieve that coverage that you want to gain around the hairline. And it's going to help know where your ears are where it's going to sit along your ears. So a petite cap will sit a little bit higher, say about here on me, but an average will sit here. So a petite, certain brands on the petite run, they just sit up a little higher, and that's fine. Because you're covered up by the hair. You can't really see that little gap. And I'm not worried about that little gap. And I can show you what I mean by that little gap. This is Miley by Ellen Villa. She is petite. She runs high on me. See this ear tab on here runs very high on this petite wig, so it sits right in there, whereas an average tends to fall right at or just on my ears. So again, your measurements are going to be uniquely you, but the wigs unfortunately are not uniquely you. You're gonna find that fine line between, you're gonna sit either average or right above average or right below average. It's gonna vary. The wig manufacturers do try to incorporate all wig sizes out there by having the stretch. Like this one, it's got stretchiness here. It's got the stretchiness here, where the Velcro extenders, where they stretch at the velvet ear tabs. From the ear tab to the nape, there's some stretch. So there's that incorporated in most wigs. Not all, but most wigs give you some variation or play as far as you being able to adjust your wig size to fit and accommodate you. And I hope this helps somebody out there. I really do. I hope if I can answer any other questions, I really hope I can too. All right.